People who study the English language tell us that English is one of the hardest languages in the world to learn. And one of the reasons that it's hard to learn is we use the same word in a lot of different situations, and you have to understand the meaning of the word by context and sometimes even by vocal inflection. How we say a word changes its meaning sometimes. And so people who are moving to the United States, learning English as a second language, are just befuddled by the subtle and constant changes in our language. Not only that, but the English language is constantly changing. It is a living, breathing thing that is constantly growing and adapting to our new situations. For instance, when I was growing up, if somebody was a bad man, they were literally a not good person. Now, if I'm at a sporting event and somebody says, hey, that is a bad man, then somebody has probably pulled off some kind of incredible athletic move that has impressed everybody in the stadium or the gymnasium. So the word bad is meaning, well, it depends on how you're saying it and in what context you're saying it and how you're using it because the meaning changes. We have the same problem with the word love. Anytime you hear somebody say, I love you, or I love this or that, you have to be careful what you're hearing. You have to pay attention because obviously somebody who loves pizza and somebody who loves their children, they're saying the same words, but they're not saying the same thing. Paul, in talking to the early church, the church in Corinth to be exact, was confronting them about their misuse of spiritual gifts and how they had ranked spiritual gifts, one being better than another, and if you had this gift, then you were spiritually superior. And he responds to this by saying, listen, I want to show you a better way. And what he talks about is 1 Corinthians 13, the famous chapter on love. If I speak with the tongues of men and angels, but don't have love, then I am a clanging gong or a banging cymbal. I'm just a lot of loud noise. But Paul is talking about a very different kind of love. For most of us and in our culture, love is an emotional feeling that we feel when we are with somebody, a feeling of happiness, of a release of endorphins, and then that means we're in love with this person. The problem is that adrenaline rush goes away after a while. And if you're constantly depending on that adrenaline rush to show that you're in love, then the relationship won't last long. Paul is talking about something very different. He's talking about something that is the essence of God. The Bible tells us that God is love. Now, there could have used a lot of words in that last part of that sentence. God is strong, God is holy, but the word was love. If you want to know the essence of God, it is love. Now, how does God show us love? Well, ultimately, he shows us in the person of Jesus Christ, but there are some attributes to this love that would be helpful to us. One, love is a choice. It is something you choose to do. It is a verb. It is a statement of action. It's not depending on emotion. It's not dependent on how you feel in a given moment or the circumstance or situation. You are constantly making this choice to love the other. This love shows itself by being committed to the best for the other. The one that you are loving, the beloved. And I'm going to be committed to that person's best by encouraging them, by building them up. Yes, by telling them the truth, but always telling them the truth in the context of, I want your best self. I want your best life. It is a love that chooses to stay with them when they mess up, when they fall, or when it's inconvenient or hard. It's always choosing the beloved. It's always choosing to be with the beloved. It is a very different word and a very different meaning from what our world teaches us about love. So, when you say you love somebody, what do you mean? Do you mean the emotional rush, or do you mean the choice that like God makes when he chose to love us? That's a tough question. It's going to take you a little while to work on this one, so I'll give you 60 seconds to get started, and I'll see you tomorrow.